This is episode 101 of season 3 of Cultivating Guts with me, Tiffany Hinton. And today we're talking about the new season. Hello, it's Tiffany, and welcome back to Cultivating Guts, a podcast where we're discussing living life to our fullest. We have a brand new season starting today, season 3, and I am going to be focusing on tools, methods, practices to relieve stress for the busy mama. I'm going to dive into why we are evolving. Everybody evolves, but where is the evolution coming from? Why I'm evolving and the podcast moving forward, myself moving forward, and how I'm here to help you, other busy moms who may be going through some of the same painful points in your life and the chaos and the drama and just everything going on. I have had a lot of insightful moments over the last few months, but we'll dive into those as we talk today on the podcast. We are in video, so if you're on YouTube or Spotify, hello, welcome to the updated podcast. And if you want to, and I would highly encourage this, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform so that you get notified anytime new content drops. I'm going to be dropping on the podcast education, inspiration, and even some actual sound healing this season, which is going to be super fun for those of you out there. We'll have a podcast series going as well as a movement series going that you'll be able to find on the YouTube channel. And there's some really exciting stuff coming up for the holiday season as we relaunch Cultivating Guts with this evolution. So also, if you want to follow along on social media, hop over to Instagram and follow I am Tiffany Hinton. And I love to repost stuff. So if you share something and tag me, it might show up in one of my stories. And with that, I am super grateful that you're here. And I'm super grateful for all of our continued amazing listeners and our brand new listeners to the podcast. And with that, let's jump into the show. Hey guys. So today's topic is deeply personal. I'm super authentic with you today. And I don't know, I'll be vulnerable as we share some stuff here. If you're on our email list, you've gotten a personal email from me on Wednesday this week. This is coming out on Thursday. But if you're not on the email list, I understand that some of this might be like a surprise, like, oh my gosh, what happened? Right? And you may have questions. And so I will open up the podcast by saying, if you hop over to YouTube, you can put your questions in the comments and I'll answer them the best that I can. I want to talk about the void that I've been in. And I didn't realize it was a void until a few weeks ago when I was on a coaching call with my own coach. I knew something had changed. I knew that I just was sitting in this spot where what I was creating and producing and sharing with the world was not aligned anymore. There had been some energetic shifts, some personal growth, and some other stuff happening where I just needed a pause, right? That pause started around June of this year. So a little over, June is month 6. We're in month 11, a little over 5 months ago, almost 6 months ago, right? Started around the same time that we were starting to go into the beginning of eclipse season. So Saturn had to go on retrograde and some other stuff was going on astrologically. But for me personally, I realized, and it was a realization that I should have known sooner, but it just, for whatever reason, that's when I realized it. I was producing gardening events. I was producing new moon circles, and I was losing money every month. And that's not a place for a business, right? You can't grow a business by just paying for everything yourself and not making money. I was planning events and I would end the event and I would be super drained and exhausted and just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again, is what I would kind of think. And at the same time, I didn't want to disappoint my clients. Like, I had some people that every month, no matter what, were showing up. They were less than a handful, but they were there and I didn't want to disappoint them. But I also knew that I couldn't continue. And I know other moms that are busy, you have, or even other women, you have places in your life where things like this happen, where you're like, if I continue on this same path, I'm going to kill myself, right? It's not that you're physically going to kill yourself, but energetically, your health, your wellness, it just goes. And I personally was back up at a huge weight. Now, does weight have anything to do with it and being overweight? No, but from my health perspective, that is a sign that I'm not energetically in balance. It's a sign that my autoimmune disease is not in check. It's a sign that I'm not eating for energy and nutrients. I'm like just eating because it's quick, easy, and I'm too tired to take care of something better or to cook something. Again, not a place to live. It's not long term. And so I made a very difficult decision on our way home from our family road trip in June. We went on vacation, had a wonderful time, that I was going to pause everything. I was going to cancel all my remaining events for the year. I was going to refund people money. I ended up refunding hundreds of dollars. And I was going to take everything off the website that was for sale and not offer anything and just kind of sit. And it was super emotional because, again, I feel like I was going to disappoint. I feel like, I don't know, I felt like a failure for a while, but I also felt super overwhelmed and I couldn't do anything more. I also made that decision in June that I needed a reset for my health, major reset for my health. I needed to focus on me. I needed to focus on eating the right foods. I needed a major detox and I needed an energy reset. And so through July and August, I kind of got all of that kickstarted for me, right? 10-day juice cleanse. Talk about a 10-day fast. That is something that our family loves to eat out. Our family loves food. And for me to have to say, nope, not allowed. People showed up to have drinks with my husband and me, and I was like, can't drink. I'm on a detox. I'm on a fast. I can't do this. I can't go out to food. I would decline, lunches and dinners and all kinds of stuff because I needed that commitment. I also recommitted to doing daily yoga. Super important, again, for me and myself and my health. Started somatic workouts, right? Intentionally doing work to open up the energy and the emotions and work through things and stuckness and move through it. Spent a lot of time listening to audiobooks. It's crazy. When I look at my audio count, I'm like at 85 books for just 2024, and it's not even the end of the year. Spent a lot of time reading paperback books, spent a lot of time in the sun, and just kind of found me again. Finding that peace and that grounding was super important. And I went back and I signed back up for a third round of Rise Up and hired a personal coach group for me, for personal self. Kind of went back to what I know that I need. Was it selfish? No. Some people might say it was selfish, but no. I know as a mom that I cannot keep up or give out enough love and joy and happiness to my family unless I fill up my own cup first. And I think a lot of people know that, right? You can't keep giving unless you give to yourself. Once you give to yourself so much that it's overflowing, then you can give to others. It was quite the journey. And so a few weeks ago, I was on a call with my personal coach, and she was working through some visualization and some meditation. And she said, what do you see ahead? And I kind of went internal and just sat there and I was like, nothing. And she's like, where do you see yourself? And I was like, I see nothing. It's quiet. It's black. It's still. There's nothing. She's like, you're in a void. And that's like 0 point energy for those of you that have maybe been there through meditation or some work that you've done, but it's a place that's super hard to reach in our modern world. There is so much happening around us, whether it's social media, disruptions, work, family commitments, calendars, phones beeping, computers dinging, phones ringing. Like, you can't get a lot of times to that 0 point, that void where you can just sit there and wait for God to tell you what's next. That void where you can just totally, your nervous system and everything kind of shuts off for a minute and you just kind of restabilize. Energetically connecting to the earth and the ground and like that frequency of contentment, that middle frequency where you can do anything, but you just want to be. And when you're in that void moment, for me personally, I kind of want to stay there. It's relaxing. It's peaceful. I don't feel like there's anything pushing on me or any pressure. But at the same point, you can't stay there forever. And that's what I'm here today on the podcast. Like, so what does that mean? It means that, yeah, I can continue and I will continue to fill up my bucket first. I'm going to continue to do the morning juices, the celery juice. I went through a parasite cleanse for months and I'm getting ready to do round 3. That's a whole nother topic we can talk about on the podcast. Went into this energy of destruction, right? When I shut everything off in June and refunded money and canceled all my events, that is definitely like destruction. And then you go into this organizing the house, decluttering, major trips to the Goodwill, hauling stuff out to the curb for the trash man, continuing to just move stuff out that is no longer serving, no longer needed. Had a whole moment where I realized, and it's on purpose, that if we moved, I could sell everything in the house and be emotionally okay with it. Like I released all those ties to things, whether they're family memorabilia and albums or furniture I've had since I was 5 years old or blankets and clothing I love. Like I would be okay with it. And that also is, for those of you who have ever done that, that's a huge surrender moment. It's being okay with saying, yeah, I just call the estate person. They can sell it all. I'm out. I'll take a backpack. I'm good. But I'm there. And that's one of I think, the positive things that came out of me sitting in the void. I released a ton of attachment. And in doing that, I was able to go deeper and open up my mind and my body and ask, what's next? What do I give the world? How do I use my passion to give back? What's next? And so I went in about 8 weeks ago to a spiritual CEO program with a coach. And they're like, what do you want to create? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm here because I need clarity. I'm here because I need to figure it out. And I know that I will. I know that I'll get the answers from God. But at this point, I don't know what it is. And finally it dropped. And when things drop for me, whoo, as my coach said last week on the phone, there is fire in my butt, because that's how energy drops. When I am open and I get these messages from the heavens, I just move. And that can be good and bad, but for me, it's a positive thing. It creates action. It creates instant learnings, instant test and fail and start over, tweak it, keep learning. That's my whole methodology in life. Like, it's okay to fail. You learn and you pick yourself back up and you keep going, whether it's building a business, setting up Instagram, or teaching a kid to ride a bicycle. You test and learn, right? And maybe that's because I work in the technology environment in corporate, but test and learn is super important. And so I've had this huge evolution drop in on like, how am I going to support other moms? And I'm going to be sharing that in the weeks to come. But like, what does that mean for the business? Why do I have a new mini studio sitting back here? And why am I filming tons of content that's going to be out on the Evolved YouTube channel? Went out, changed social media profiles this week. And I realized, and this is an affirmation that I set up for myself weeks ago, and I write it on paper and I say it to myself and I truly believe it. But when I have a plan, the universe opens up a path to success. And I firmly believe that. But I need a plan. And so that means taking a whisper or a message from the heavens, accepting that that's my course, my next step, part of my journey, and laying out a plan, even if I don't know how it's all going to happen or how the buttons are going to connect or what the next steps are, but putting a plan down on paper in a calendar and then letting the universe kind of guide and direct and make the connections I need. And it's happening. It's happening so fast because it is aligned. It is so aligned with what we need to do. And I feel so happy about it. So if you have been a long time, podcast listener or follower of GF Mom Certified or Cultivating Guts, there is an evolution. There is a change. And I'm going to speak about that now. And I just want you to be aware of it as we go into 2025. I am building for what's coming, right? 2025, the year of 2025 is going to be fast. That's just the astrology. It's going to be a lot of information coming at us fast. It will be a little bit chaotic, a lot of change physically, a lot of physical changes and just a bunch of stuff happening right in our communities, in our collectives, in our environments. And so we can't do that unless we have the peace and the grounding in our own lives and the centering to be able to move with the change, to be flexible, to be open, to evolve on our own, right? You can't be a rock in the middle of a river without change happening to you, because over time the water is going to erode and the rock's going to change shape, just as a human is, right? So you can be grounded to the earth. That's great. But you have to be open to the change. You've got to be open to the water running around you in the river of change and shaping yourself and changing and evolving with life around you. As a mom, I see that play out so much. So personally, right? Brand new mom, you have brand new baby, you're changing maybe the time you're waking up or your sleep schedule. You're changing, if you were somebody like me who had kids with food allergies, you're changing the food in your cabinets and how you eat and all of that. Your kids start going to preschool or daycare. You again change your schedule, you change your habits, you change maybe the routine that you have before bed. Maybe you have to pack snacks or set out clothing the night before and all of that. Your kids move into sports. Again, we're changing ourselves as a mom. We're changing the schedule. We're changing a bunch of stuff. And so everybody always says, oh, it's so hard when you have a brand new baby. I will tell you, it is so hard when you have multiple children, not just one. And it is so hard when they have multiple things going on all at the same time. That to me is harder than just having 3 at home in diapers. 3 at home in diapers, I could contain them. I could put them on a schedule that worked for both of us. But once you have 3 kids that are involved in 3 different things, or I've got 2 in 2 different sports, so that's 4 sports. And then I have 1 that's involved in something else. So we have like 5 out of the house activities happening all the time. And with 3 people that need to be in 3 different places, times overlap. It's a little chaotic. It can be overwhelming. You, a lot of times as a mom, give up your healthy food. You give up your exercise routine. You give up your sleep. You give up your own personal care to make this all happen for your kids. And I'm not saying don't make it all happen for them. Definitely do that. But we have to figure out a way to still get our personal care in. And that's what's coming, guys. I've figured out a way to make it happen. And it's always funny. It's not funny, but it is interesting to me. People always say, Tiffany, how do you make it all happen? How do you get all that done? Work a full-time job, super corporate, super stressful, in compliance for finance, and drive your kids all over everywhere, and, run a business, and I'm going to share those secrets with you coming in the podcast and in the emails and in a lot of stuff that we're doing. There is a method in which I use to make sure that my nervous system, my stress response is balanced, grounded, to allow peace in my life, to allow me the openness and the flexibility to evolve and change just like the rocks do. But I'm probably more like a tree, blow with the wind, bend toward the sunlight, right? Like, don't be the rock, be the tree. Maybe that's going to be part of our new slogans. I don't know, but it's coming to me right now. And I'm going to be sharing with you with that. So welcome to the new Cultivating Guts. So much is coming. And I'm super excited for where we're traveling together. Again, I would ask for you to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. Hop over on Instagram. Follow I am Tiffany Hinton. You're going to want to get details. We've got some brand new stuff coming out, some great things I'm going to offer for free. And super secret as well. I'm not ready to disclose what I'm working on, but mark your calendar for December 19th. Block it off because you're going to want to be with me on December 19th, and more to come on that. But I'm here to help you find your peace, find your own grounding so that you can be the mom that you always dreamed about being. Sat Nam, you guys. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this new episode with season 3. Share with me your thoughts. Share with me your questions. Again, put your questions on YouTube. I'll get those answered if I can. Hopefully I have answers for you, but there's sometimes, I don't know. Ask me anything though. I'm here for you, and I am excited to see you join me for this new adventure, this travel and this journey together as busy mamas. Satnam, love you guys. If you've loved this episode, remember to share it with your friends. Send it with anyone who may need inspiration or information that I shared. And again, to get some of my newest items, you're going to want to go over to Instagram and follow I am Tiffany Hinton on Instagram. I'll put the link below the video as well. And we'll be dropping stuff in our stories and some new free stuff that you'll be able to get and utilize instantly coming out in the next few weeks. Satnam, talk to y'all soon. Bye.